Hello and welcome to today's gripping video looking into Wei Seng Paul Phua, his infamous poker career and alleged links with the Triads. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay up to date with everything poker related here at Bankroll Buster. The world of poker contains so many interesting characters, and Paul Phua is definitely one of them. Many times he has been labelled as a legend in the gaming world, and he definitely is. Paul started working closely with Macau's casino industry, which took the entire area by storm in the noughties, with some of the biggest stars in the poker game coming to his area. Paul took an eagerness to the game and wanted to start playing himself. He was known to get into poker much later than many of the known stars around him, starting the intense game in his mid-40s. Paul was a VIP junket operator in Macau, earning a great reputation for making the casinos millions by pointing the rich and successful gamblers in the right direction. This became a healthy business for him, even being known as the world's biggest bookmaker and forming a junket company called Satleng Company Limited. Leading on from that, he co-founded Triton Poker, a well-known high-stakes poker series. He has had a flourishing business career and poker career, competing in one of the biggest televised poker pots in 2018 and coming away with a handsome $2.35 million. He also has one World Series of Poker bracelet and over $31 million in live winnings as of the end of 2024. This fantastic track record is sometimes hidden by allegations from the FBI and other sources that he has links with the Chinese organized crime group called the 14K Triad. Paul was involved in an absolute showstopper of a case where he was being investigated for running an illegal gambling business out of the Caesars Villa during the 2014 World Series of Poker. Starting with many alleged links to sports match fixing in Premier League games in the UK, this led him and his wealth to be substantially greater compared to the other bookmakers in Malaysia. While the Euro 2004 football championships were in play, the Malaysian police found Paul Phua involved in an illegal gambling wire room, where he was given an $8,000 fine. To Paul, this wasn't a huge fine, but it was a notice that the authorities may be on to his alleged activities. At poker's first $1 million buy-in event, there were two very experienced players on the final table, Paul and his associate, Yong. At this event, they were completely unknown to this side of the poker world, even being listed as Asian software developers. This wasn't an event that Paul Phua went on doing very well, but it did open his eyes to the big poker cash prize events, where in London soon after he won $1.6 million. The government in America and locally to Vegas needed to start justifying where these huge amounts of money are just turning up from, pointing eyes and fingers towards Paul Phua and his associates with the FBI and other financial crime organizations like the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. At this point, Paul Phua was being looked into by both the American and Chinese governments for his shady junket business. With a gigantic bust in Macau during the World Series of Poker in 2014, where the police picked him up at the airport and allegedly roughed him up. Here, he was arrested within a group accused of running a wire room at the Wynn Casino in Macau, a casino he has worked with and received commission from for years up to this point, reportedly taking in around $645 million in bets just the first week. After this, he then returned to the Vegas casino Caesars, where he set up a similar style wire room setup, but the FBI and all local authorities were onto him. The FBI was chasing him for a long time, waiting for probable cause and looking for it at any turn. They knew what he was up to, but couldn't catch him out. After he returned to do this at the Caesars, he and his associates, who were all staying in similar villas down the road, ordered lots of TVs and laptops, all the equipment they would need through the villa's concierge service. Due to the nature of many of the high rollers' requests to the staff, this didn't seem out of the ordinary. But to Creighton Felt, a member of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, he had seen this setup from the bust that Macau's police got Paul Phua for. This led to the FBI coming up with a strategy with the technicians to cut the internet power to the rooms they were staying in, so they would get the opportunity to be asked to fix it so they could see what was going on. A massive mistake on the FBI's part was not including the fact that they did this on their own search warrant request, which would prove to be a bigger problem than they thought. Once the FBI agents managed to enter after cutting the power, they were able to see the inside of the operation, even securing texts with amounts being wagered illegally. Within a few hours, Paul Phua was on a plane to Malaysia, a country where his credit is still accepted, and so is he. I wonder if we will hear more on Paul Phua's alleged triad links, or will he end up retiring with a quiet life in the sun? I guess we will find out.